Hey, what's going on?
Hey, hey, hey.
Listen, this is Woman Empowered Wednesday. I want everybody, if you're looking at this broadcast or whether you see it pop up in a moment, please go in, like and share, tag somebody because I have no other than the Jasmine D. Milhouse. So listen, if you don't know who she is, you better find something out about her today, right? Because you should. She's an amazing, phenomenal person doing incredible things in the ATL area. Just finished up a brunch that was absolutely outstanding. You hear me? And it's just a tip of the iceberg because this lady is out here making waves, honey. And you need to know what she has to say because, baby, trust and believe she's going to drop some nuggets for you in just a few minutes. So let me make sure everybody get in. Like I said, share the broadcast. So while I'm telling y'all, let me do what I say do. And let me share it to my platforms as well, because I don't want anybody to miss any of this goodness. You hear me? Jasmine, how are you today?
I am doing fabulous. I'm doing the same thing as you. I'm sharing it out to my community, to all my groups, and also on my page. So as we're doing it, make sure you do the same thing. But just to answer your question again, I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. It's been a wonderful day thus far, and it's only 12:30.
Come
So I'm just
on, when it's
glad.
good like that. Is that not beautiful? When it start off like, yes, it's still
Yeah,
early. We still got time and we out here doing it.
exactly.
Yes, yes, yes. So as you all know, we come on every Wednesday and we do a Woman Empowered Wednesdays. And it's really just a showcase for the I Am a Woman Empowered group where we highlight women who come in and share some stuff. And so y'all know it's all kind of groups that you can be in. And I count it a blessing that you are part of this group. So thank you all for being here and showing up because it matters and definitely we appreciate it. If I couldn't tell you to be anywhere else, I would want you to be right here today. So I say, hey, P. Angela Jones, what's going on? Talking about, hey, my sisters. That
Hi,
is
Miss
our sister, and
Jones.
we love her. So we are so glad she is on here. There's another Facebook user that said, hey, ladies. And so y'all know, she's talking about, oh, y'all on the cutie community. Baby, I told Jasmine, honey, coming on looking all glowed up. Girl, yeah.
Listen, when you come on I Am a Woman in Power, you got to be snatched and ready at all times, okay?
Girl, don't let her do all that while she's playing. So listen, let me just go ahead and say this. Jasmine D. Milhouse is, it's so many things to really talk about. You're an author,
Yes.
best-selling author at that.
Yes.
You are a powerhouse speaker, dropping gems, dropping knowledge, dropping all kind of things that are transformative for women. You are, well, let's go back and say the CEO of Life Tips by Jazz. So that's why I said today you're going to get some tips because that's what she does. She does that automatically. That's just a part of her framework. This is in her wheelhouse. But then you go to Purpose to Fly, which is a program she does because in order to fly, you got to first love you, right? So
That's
when she
right.
talks about getting self-esteem, getting confidence, helping you to navigate that place that we all are sometimes when we don't feel like we are the people that we want to be. When we look in the mirror and sometimes we let the weight of the world get on our shoulders and make us feel like we're not accomplished enough. We haven't done what we needed to do at this stage of our life. We are, so far behind the eight ball. We don't know if we're going to ever catch up. Your money funny, your time is short. These people ain't acting right who are in your life like they don't recognize the queen that you are. But see, Jazz is the person that can help you with all of that noise and that chatter that's in your head. And then not only did she do that, but earlier this month, as a matter of fact, the first Saturday in May, she had her very first brunch, Gracefully Embracing Me, baby. It was amazing. She created that brunch and she put it together with so much. It was so beautiful. It was such a sweet spirit, but also a challenge for you to understand that who God created you to be. Step into that thing and embrace it. Embrace who you are. Give yourself some grace to be the amazing person that He created you to be. So I'm not going to keep on talking because y'all, I don't want to waste up our time because I need this sister to start dropping it. So Jasmine, although I said those things, they still don't know, baby. Let them know know who the Jasmine D Milhouse is.
Man, listen. Okay, first of all, before I get into my story, I do have to give honor where honor is due. As always, I give honor, an extreme honor to our Lord and Savior. If without God, when I tell you I wouldn't be sitting here looking like I look, I mean, this face look real, real cute, but that lets you know that sometimes we have to get ourselves together in order to keep moving. So I give God all the honor, I give him all the glory, and I give him the praise. And not only that, I thank him for creating Mrs. Angela A. Love Lewis, because when I tell you, you have been such a phenomenal person in my life, such a phenomenal sister, auntie, homegirl, friend that I needed, that will snatch all my little life together real quick and be like, no, ma'am, that's not what we finna do. You did not come here. So it was like you came in my life at the time where I needed, someone that could show me exactly what I have been saying for so long can also be turned back to me as well. And
Mhm.
so I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your platform and to be entered into your life as such a big sister. So now that we done got all that out the way,
Yeah, that really did.
just
Right.
a little bit about me. I'm a little old country town girl from DeSoto, Georgia. I was born in Louisiana. I'm a military brat. But when I tell you DeSoto is this big, it's a population of a good smooth 150 people. If you think I'm lying,
50.
Google it. Google it. Your subdivision probably bigger than my city. Okay. Amen. God bless you. But
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. But looking at all of that and just looking back over my life to where I am right now is it signifies that God doesn't take where you start and leave you there. He sent you here with a magnificent purpose, but it's up to us to realize and get in alignment with who He has us to be, who He created us to be, right? So for me, growing up, I didn't think, I was going to be who I am. Yeah, I ain't got, I'm not Oprah yet, but I didn't even feel like I was, good enough to work at the Walmart. I felt like I was just gonna
Mm,
be a in the house person, a behind the scenes, not wanting to be seen. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like my face. I didn't like my voice. I didn't like the way that I walk. I hated everything about this little lady right here. And going through life, you're dealing with so many trials and tribulations, and you're making decisions and you make mistakes, and it gets you to a place where you have to really take a look and examine yourself and say, okay, this just can't be it. This can't be
mhm,
all that I'm destined for. This can't be all that I'm purposed to have. I have there and there has to be something else better
mhm,
than this. If I see people moving away to go to bigger cities, to go do different things, then why can't I do the same thing? So I had to put myself in a position to where, I have to think outside of that little box that I put myself in.
mhm,
So I moved and I expanded. And I never knew what I was doing. But fast forward 3 kids and 2 marriages later, I learned from my mistakes. And I didn't allow my mistakes to keep me in the same position that I was. And I don't have any regrets with any decisions that I've made. I can't sit here and say shoulda, coulda, woulda, because if I shoulda, coulda, woulda, I wouldn't be in this position that I'm in right now. So you can't go. I had to realize that everything that has happened and occurred in my life was meant for a purpose, and it's up to me to understand exactly what that purpose is and what that purpose was. Who was I supposed to help in that season? Who was I supposed to help moving forward? Why did I have to go through that? Oh, okay, I get it. I had to go through that, what I went through 5 years ago. I meet Susie, or I meet a Angela, or I meet a Paula, or a P Angela, and now I can help them through that same situation just by opening my mouth and using my testimony in order to help somebody else. To let you know, baby girl, it ain't just you, it's everybody. But there is someone that is here that is going to help hold you by the hand and say, sis, I'm not going to leave you where you are. So that's where I come in at. I'm the sis, I ain't going to leave you kind of thing. I'm the sis, I ain't going to leave you sitting there type of woman. No matter what I may be going through, no matter what it looks like, I'm the biggest encourager that I know of, as a matter of fact, because I like to be able to say that. And it's not just for me to get the glow or the glory, because it's not about getting the glory. God gets all of that. But it's for me to know that if I can be of service and I can serve someone else, then I know I'm doing my part.
That's powerful. And let me go back and shout out, because I see Lakeisha's on here. So she said Jasmine D. Milhouse is amazing. Paula Haddon Bannon said this just can't be it. Yes, I know, right? So I want to go back, because you said some really important strategic things when you talk about, how you just didn't even feel like you were going to be worthy of, working at Walmart. And we look at people, we see how well put together they may be, and you think, oh, she thinks she's doing her thing, or she has a high level of self-confidence, when in actuality, that's false bravado. You think she thinks that, but in her mind, she's looking at herself like, is this all it is going to be? Is this all it's going to be for me?
This all I got. Right.
I need to stay where I'm at, because if I don't, nothing else better is going to come along. You're settling, you're being mediocre, because the self-confidence and self-worth and self-esteem that you have has been trampled on. It's been stomped down. It's been kicked in the stomach. It's been bust in the head. Y'all ladies know we got some stuff that we come up against. And sometimes, truth be told, it ain't always from everybody else. We do more damage to ourselves sometimes before we even let somebody else get to it. That's how they know how to handle you, because they see you already coming, because you done already blacked your eye out, and you done already said, girl, child, please.
You're the blueprint of how someone else is going to treat you.
Oh, come on. Say it again.
You're the blueprint. You have to, and see, we all know what a blueprint is. The blueprint is the layout of what the finished product is going to look like, right? The blueprint is the layout of how to build your foundation. So if you don't understand how to read your own blueprint, you will not be able to understand how to know when someone else is reading you wrong, to know when someone else is treating you wrong, to know when someone is leading you down the wrong path. If you don't understand who you are as a person, you'll never be able to encounter someone that knows how to treat you properly. Not like, you're a piece of glass and, you're breakable, because that puts you in a sensitive position.
Right.
But don't be a piece of glass, but don't be a rhino either. Don't be, super sensitive and tough as nails. Kind of be a middle. So you have to understand, to learn you got to know what your middle is. But you also got to know, on the sensitive side and the hard side, what are those triggers that can switch you from the middle to sensitive and crying to now I'm hard and I'm ready to fight. When you know you in a 360 realm, you can also know who is for you and who is not for you. You know when to walk away, when to stay, and you know when to say, okay, you got one more time. You know what I mean? You got to one more. But see, that also helps you know how to stay in character. That helps you understand how to control you and not give someone else the control over you. Because when you can control you, it keeps you out of someone else's hands besides the good Lord above. Amen. Because people will learn you and they will play you like a puppet.
Baby, pulling strings and all. Listen, you trying to figure out, why did I do that?
Exactly. Because you're under someone else's control. Because you don't know yourself.
because you don't know yourself. And I'm gonna tell you something. My friend Tawana, and I don't know if she ever gonna get a chance to see this. Hopefully she will. Her grandmother used to say, "Don't give people a stick to whoop your," and I'm gonna say it, whoop your ass with. Don't
Listen.
do it. But see, we readily hand people information about us, and then they turn around and use it. And see,
Mhm.
because you're, and I don't want to say gullible and naive, but some of us are just trusting. Some of us are just, thinking that I'm going to do them like they do me, or they're going to do me like I do them.
Right.
And you just are not expecting that. But a lot of times you give away your power
Mhm.
because you're just thinking, they're not going to do it. I'm just venting. I'm just saying this. But what you're doing is putting in the atmosphere things that people can turn around and use against you. And now
Right.
they can manipulate you. Now
Mhm.
they can, cause you to do some things that you really weren't prepared or even expected that you had to do. And they take you out of character. And like you said, that's when them triggers start coming in. And so you come from the middle and now you're ready to throw down, or you over here a basket case because they've trampled all over your name and embarrassed you and said some things about you. And now you don't want to come out and face anybody, but it's all because you allowed them to have control over you. And like
Right.
you said, it's the 3 C first. You are the blueprint. And then you got to know your whole self. You got to know, most of us know what we don't want.
Mhm.
Half, not even half of us can say what you really want. When somebody says that,
Right.
yeah, what do you want? You got to sit there and think like, what do I really want? Do I want a house on the ocean, beachfront property, looking at the waves every day? Do I want something up in the mountains, where it's snowing and I can go out and ski? Do I really want Starbucks coffee, or am I just, Lipton iced tea type girl?
Am I
Do
good with Folgers? Right.
that's some stuff for you, really.
Mhm.
And a lot
Mhm.
of times we are unempowered or disempowered
Right.
because you're so busy running around trying to please somebody else and see what
Mhm.
they want to do. So when they say, well, what are we eating today at, and they're asking you, and you say, oh, I don't know, wherever you want to go, and then they want to go somewhere else, and you're like, I didn't really want chicken today, I had chicken 5 days this week, I really didn't want that, but you go anyway. That's disempowered.
My thing is, you have to stop giving the ammunition that's going to load the cannon to blow you up.
Look.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop giving people ammunition that's going to be used to blow you up. And we all know that cannons, guns, rifles, or however you want to call it, it ain't to blow up like, oh my God, now everybody know my name. It is the blow up that is going to be the destruction of who you are in its entirety. Don't allow someone to be don't be someone's pawn. Okay.
Mm,
Don't be the puppet in someone else's musketeer show. Your
mm,
name ain't Pinocchio. There ain't Mr. Geppetto. So don't allow someone to control you that much to where you don't have the capability to even think for yourself. Like you just said, something as simple as a meal. What do you want to eat? I don't want McDonald's. I don't want Chick-fil-A. I don't want Popeyes. I want to sit down and have me a nice steak with some mashed potatoes and some broccoli with a little parsley sprinkled on top of it. I want to look real fancy and real cute. So I want Longhorn, or we can go, somewhere like Seasons 52. Okay, if that ain't in your budget, all right, cool. We can go down to Chops. If that ain't in your budget, you got Ruth Chris. That ain't in your budget. Okay, we go back down to Longhorn in. But you have to know, what is it that you want. It's the simplicity of knowing no one can lead you, and you ain't just flowing like dead fish in a river. You going with the flow. That ain't what you're supposed to do. Because everybody's flow may not be meant for you. My flow may not be Angela's flow. So I can't say likes. She can't say she likes what I like. She has to know what she likes, and we have to be comfortable with that. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. If
mm,
you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're going to always be around here trying on costumes all day.
boom.
I'm just saying, all
All
day,
that.
all
Mhm.
day, your whole life. And then the next thing you know, you're 40 and you don't even know who you are.
Mm. I'm telling you, and the reality is, as sad as the reality is, so many people go down their path. And you wake up one day and you're just like, who am I? Why have I been at this job for 20 years? And
Mhm.
I hate it. Why
Right.
even have I been, in this marriage? Or why have I been, dealing with these same people who never encourage me or support me? I'm calling, checking on them, but you never call to check on me. I'm always there when you need me, but you're never there when I need you.
Right.
You don't respect who I am. You
Mhm.
don't value my opinion,
Mhm.
but you allow yourself to just go on day by day. Never, what they say, just put your head down and just work hard and hope that, you retire and life is going to be okay. But you miss the essence
Mhm.
of living. You
Mhm.
miss the essence of what God has for you, because we weren't created to be mediocre. We were created to have dominion and go out here and run some things. We were created, and when you created to have dominion, that doesn't mean that you got to be patty caking and playing small. That's not what He gave you dominion to do. He gave you dominion to be excellent, to be great, to go out here and make some things pop off and happen in a good way.
Talk about it. Talk about
So
it.
that's why I love jazz, because everything about you that you do, when you show up, you're talking about pouring into people and helping them see things. My daughter says all the time, make it make sense. You make it make sense for people. You're a no nonsense type of person. It's not all about all the being all frivolous and all the extra. You know what I'm saying? Extra, yes, because of course we're gonna be extra. There's nothing wrong with being extra. And if somebody questions that, then it's a problem for them. It's never a problem for
Right.
me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If that's
Right.
how I like to show up, if you want to be in jeans all day and sweatpants, that's your business. But don't get mad at me because I want to put on
High
something.
heels in a sundress.
Okay,
Don't
and
do
it's
it.
okay. It's
Right.
okay.
It's okay.
Don't change who you are for someone else who that's not their makeup. It's okay.
Right. Exactly. And not only that, just kind of going back to the reason why I think it was placed within me to create Purpose to Fly, which is the purpose to first love you, is I had to grow and understand that I'm not like anyone else. No one else is me, and I'm no one else. I am my own makeup. I am my own person. And I had to learn how to be okay with who I am,
Mm-hmm.
whether Susie Q like me, Mother Cantaloupe couldn't stand me. It didn't matter. I had to learn how to love me
Mm.
in all my glory. I ain't no thin chick. I ain't no, slim thick. I'm thick. You hear me? Look, I'm a fluff puff. And I'll tell anybody, if you gonna catch all this, you gonna catch every single nook, cranny, and corner that I have. And you're going to love everything that I am. I'm not going to bend and fold to fit the mold of someone else, because that will leave me being unauthentically me.
Mm.
Because I can be, as they say, often imitated, but I will never be duplicated. Because God only sent one Jasmine D. Milhouse here. I can look at Angela and say, okay, I liked how she emulated that, but I will never be Angela Lewis. And the thing is, I would never want to be. Why? Because I will always fail. But one test that I will never fail is me being me,
Mm.
because I can always show up to the table ready to take the test on who I am, because I know me better than anybody else. No one can answer questions about me better than I can. People may say, "Oh, I know you better than I think you do." Okay, I'll wait. Tell me about myself then. Okay, if you know me so well, what am I thinking? What did I eat yesterday? What do I like? What is my favorite color? What time do I like to get up in the morning? Am I a morning person? Do I sit up all night? Do I like blue? Do I like green? Do I like Mercedes? Am I a Chevy girl? Do I like a car? Am I a truck girl? If you can tell me more about, if someone can tell you more about you than you, then that means you're not studying you hard enough.
That means you're not being authentic to
You're
who
not
you
being
are.
authentic to who you are, because you're gonna always look for some to latch on. Who can I be like today? Oh, I want to be like, that's my role model.
Mhm.
I love her, or I love him. Man, I wish I can get attention like that. You can get all the attention that you need just showing up as yourself, because
Mhm.
there is no one walking, breathing, and talking that can do it like you do.
Mm. That's so powerful. And I love these kind of conversations because somebody out there really needs to hear it. Yes. Somebody said, authentically, yes, indeed,
Mhm.
be authentically you. And I believe
Yes.
Lakeisha, thank you. Okay, now I see who it is. Okay, Lakeisha, thank you so much. The thing about it is, Jazz, that I think sometimes we miss out on when it comes to first loving you.
Right.
A lot of times things start in your childhood and things happen to you in your childhood, and because you don't know how to process it, you start internalizing it, thinking that everything is about you, or things happen because of you, or you're the cause of it. And so because of that, either I don't want to go over here because I don't want people to do this, I don't want to speak about this because if I do, something happens, it's going to be my fault. See, as children, we, number one, are told, get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. Children ought to be seen and not
Not
heard.
hurt.
What goes
Right.
on in his house stays in his house. So when
Mhm.
you start hearing all of those things slammed into a small brain who just wants to go out and be free and just do their thing, when you start traumatizing and dramatizing their lives, now when you go out into the world, you don't know how to be, because when you were trying to be you, somebody did something to you. When you were just trying to be you, somebody told you to get somewhere, sit down and be quiet. So it
Mhm.
makes you conform to something that people can make you be around. Because if
Right.
I gotta leave or get somewhere and sit down and be quiet because I'm talking, and that's what I love to do, is talk and sing. Now I feel like, okay, nobody wants to be around me when I talk and sing, so I just need to get somewhere, sit down and be quiet, and that's what makes people accept me. But that's not
Right.
who I am.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, that whole saying, kids to be seen and not heard, it puts you in a position to where now, okay, you don't have a voice and you can't speak for yourself. So you can't think for yourself because you're used to someone thinking and speaking for you.
Mhm.
Okay, mama said this is what we're gonna do. Daddy said this is what we're gonna do. What goes on in this house stays in this house. That gives you a hush mouth when something is not right. And
Right.
you don't know how to report anything when something is wrong. When you're in danger, you don't understand who you need to turn to because you're used to mommy and daddy being that rescuer. And it's not always going to be the case, because sometimes there are going to be situations where mama and daddy is not going to be there. And you have to understand that, how can I help me in this situation? How can I be there and stand on my own 2 feet? What am I supposed to do? And it leaves you as a full grown adult out here in the world, and you're walking around like a fresh born deer because you're like a newborn all over again. You're in a world that you have no idea about because you were not built to be prepared to go out into the world. You
Mhm.
were not prepared for when someone says, oh, okay, your hair ugly. You weren't prepared for that. You weren't prepared for the small things. You weren't prepared for any of that. So it's like, now, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to? You have to learn
Mhm.
these things. You have to learn you, because who you were when you was in the house, when mama said, go somewhere and sit down because grown folks talking, or Uncle Tim did so and so and so and so, or Amy Janie did this and that, and you better not tell nobody. You're not that person anymore. You're now a full grown woman, and you
Right.
have to rediscover you have to discover your voice because you
Mhm.
never had one. So you have to learn how to start speaking up for you. You have to learn how to hold conversations. You have to learn how to to say what's on your mind and not be ashamed of feeling a certain kind of way,
Mhm.
because people will try to make you feel ashamed for feeling the way that you feel. People
Mhm.
will make you try to be ashamed as feeling like, okay, well, I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican, and they want to shame you. People like, okay, I love God, but I like trap music, and I didn't want to send you to hell because you like Two Chains or whoever you like, but I love God. I can't say I confess it with my heart that Jesus Christ died on the cross for me for my sins, that I don't have to die for it, and I was born in iniquity, but I don't have to keep living in it, blah, blah, blah. Just because I love Jesus and I like Meg Stallion like my girl Paula does not mean that I'm going to hell. You know what I mean?
Correct.
All
Correct.
about you have to know who you are in your heart.
Mhm.
It's all
Mhm.
about your heart. That's why
Mhm.
purpose to fly, purpose to first love you. You have to love all your characteristics. You have to love the things that you don't even like about yourself. And that's how you're able to get to understand, okay, I may not like this. How can I fix it? Is it something that I can change? Is it something that's even worth me even thinking about? Because the thing that you look at that you don't like could be that very thing that's going to make you blow up.
Woo, girl. And I'm gonna tell you how true I know that to be, because I was looking at Tamron Hall show one day, and I don't know if y'all remember Dirty Dancing. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of the lady who was on Dirty Dancing, but anyway, the main character, Baby. They
Mm-hmm.
used to, how Patrick Swayze was like, nobody puts Baby in the corner, right?
Right.
Well, I want to say it's Jennifer something, but anyway, I can't think of her last name. But anyway, she blew up from that movie and everybody knew her and all these different things. But what happened was she didn't like her nose, so
Right.
she went and changed it. When
Right.
she changed it, she said it killed her career because
Mm-hmm.
nobody wanted to get her, because they said your nose is really what was making
Mm-hmm.
people want to have you. It was
Right.
unique, it was different, and we can create stories around that,
Mm-hmm.
for you to go. And so changing herself caused her to miss out on a lot, and she wrote a book about it, No Longer in the Corner. But see,
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is, again, the very thing that you think, talking all the time, maybe that's going to be what's going to get you to be recognized worldwide, because you know how to carry on conversations and commentate. Maybe you're the person that likes to try on all your mama outfits and all her high heel shoes, because one day you're supposed to be America's Next Top Model. See, you got to understand that it's the gifts and the things inside of you that enables you to be where you need to be at, to operate at a level of
Exactly.
excellence. So when people start telling you things about yourself and you change it, now you're wondering why you can't never get ahead. You can't never, just kind of get there, but it's never like that to go over the top like other
Mm-hmm.
people are. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, again, it's because the thing that could set you free, that can release you, is the very thing that you feel like nobody wants to hear about.
Listen, and I am, when I tell you, the one thing that I did not like about me is what everyone loves about me, and that is my voice.
Baby, because it's smooth like cognac. Y'all, we call Jasmine sister cognac, baby. Listen, because it's smooth.
When I tell you I couldn't stand my voice, because I would wake up in the morning and my voice is kind of deep. I have a deeper voice for a female, like a Layla Hathaway kind of voice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I sound like a dude. I sound like my daddy. I'm like, I cannot. Can you not? But the thing that I did not like, once I started to embrace me, once I started to get to know and enjoy the simple things about Jasmine,
Mm-hmm.
I've been asked to speak on albums. So I've been on CDs, records. I've
Wow.
had my own talk show. I've had my own radio show. I have a podcast, and now I do Purpose to Fly Wednesdays with the Fly Show on Facebook. And now I'm about to enter into Instagram, getting my podcast starting back up. People
Mm-hmm.
are asking me to do voiceovers. People are asking, you are reaching out to me, hey, I want to do a book and it's going to be an audio book. I need your voice. Can you do it? Absolutely.
You better come on. But look how God gives you everything you need to get where you want to be at.
Right.
You just got to understand and tap into what that is, and 9 times out of 10, it is what um, people always tell you about. People see it in you before you see it in
Before
yourself.
you fit in yourself. Yeah.
So you need to sit back and realize, what do people always compliment me on, or what do they
Mhm.
always, talk to me about? Because
Yeah.
that is going to be the key that's going to unlock your greatness, whatever that is. And for
Mhm.
you, the beautiful thing is, now that start walking in it.
Right.
Now that start taking advantage of the opportunities that will come to you, because the good book says your gifts will make room for you and put you in front of, baby, the people who are decision makers and power players, right? He didn't
Right.
say that, but y'all know I paraphrase, but
That's
that's what
what
he
we're
meant.
going to go with today.
That's the Angela-ism, baby. Look, we rolling with that thing today.
Right. And see, and back to what you were saying, how um when you take that one thing and God will place you in a room, and windows of opportunity will be open for you, and people see your greatness before you do. I can't even take, any kind of recognition or honor for that, because it was the other people that were around me that saw
Mm-hmm.
my greatness. It
Mm-hmm.
was my friend Lauren says you need to do a podcast. It was, we all know Kelly Bowens, you need to be on the radio, get on up in here and get this radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Come on, let's go. The world needs to hear you. and we were all a part of that. And it was my dad pushing me. You need to be more visible on social media. Okay, you have your radio show. You need to also push it, add that with it. And then not only that, just people around me loving me. Um, when you gonna create your program? When are you gonna have your own signature program that you can show the people, show women, show people, or whoever, the things that you did to get you to this point? I had someone reach out to me about the event. Sis, did you create your whole event? I said, yes, I did. Me and my sister-in-law. People are out here wanting to know how to create an event. You know what I mean? Just the simple things. And it's like when you take that one thing and you look at how much God can expand it just by blowing a simple, and it can blow your mind.
Absolutely.
When you get to the point to where you love every single thing about you, even on the days when you're dog tired, when you just need a break, when you want to take a moment and be to yourself, when you want to take a moment and say, I am fasting from the world, I'm fasting from social media, I'm fasting from food. Center in and get to know you. It's all about building that self relationship. It's all about building that self friendship, because it can't nobody be your friend. When I tell you I am my best friend, I go out to eat. I take myself to dinner. I take myself to brunch. I took myself out Sunday, had me a couple tacos, sat down, had me a little.
There's power in that. Exactly. And for a lot of people cannot spend time alone
with themselves.
They cannot. And if you can't understand and appreciate the alone time with you, baby, how you expect somebody else to?
Listen,
it needs to be an aura on you so strong that, baby, I love me some me, boo. You can't come and tell me nothing about me that's gonna make me feel any better than what I tell myself in the morning. When, like Mary J. Blige said, good morning, gorgeous. You need to be the first one that says that to yourself, and embrace it and believe it. But I want to go back to what you said a moment ago about things happening to blow your mind. It's so funny because Kelly put something in our group today, and it was she heard it on live, and it says, sometimes in life, the moment God is about to blow our minds, we allow our minds to blow it. That was that was a whole drop. Look, that was like drop the mic, pull out the chords, wrap it up, and just everybody.
The show is over with that.
Over with at that point. But how true is that? Like he's prepared to blow our minds all the time, but that self-sabotaging us will allow us to blow it because we're not ready. Because we worried about what somebody else gonna think. We were, and I'm going to say something else too. As important as it is to have good people around you who see your gifts and share those things and tell you and push you, it's equally as important to have that person who is negative or a hater or always got something to say about you. And the reason I say that is because they're the first ones too that will point out something about you that they don't like, but that may be the very thing that you need to embrace. Because come on, baby.
Talk about it.
When somebody tell you, like, someone is over there sound like a man, that's your first indication that, oh, if I sound like one, baby, I might need to be using it because apparently God gave it to me for a reason. For you to hate on it, that must be what I need to use to go out here and become a multi-millionaire. See, people will say a whole lot of things, and you need to understand sometimes to ask God to give you a discerning voice or ear to hear what's being said, so that you don't be offended. Because when you got that 360, knowing who you are, you don't have to be offended, because what you do is say, girl, I appreciate it, because what I'm about to do is go out here and blow up and be the audible queen, where everybody's going to be seeking for me to speak their voice, use my voice to bring their stories to life. I'm going to be the person where they're going to be at, because everybody know what's that fine black man to be on the commercial, the Allstate commercial. They wanted him on there because
baby, yes, ma'am.
That voice he got, baby. Yes. Listen. People be wanting to hear that. So you got to understand, don't always it is definitely have your great support system, but don't discount your haters because they may tell you unlock the key to what you've been missing. Listen to what they talk about because they hating on what's great about you. They ain't hating on something that's jacked up. They hating on something that's amazing about you. So pay attention. Have that discerning ear. It'll take you somewhere. I promise you.
And you know what? People that don't want to see you succeed make manipulated movements to watch you fail. Okay? They make they meditate on them things, okay?
Right.
I am going to meditate on how to manipulate from you moving to your next level, right? If I can get in a position to where I can get into your mind and
Mm-hmm.
get into your ear and cause you to look at what I don't like in you, it'll cause you to sit right here with me and I can watch you be mediocre just like I am. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have, like you just said, that discerning ear, to pay attention to what is being said about you, and
Mm-hmm.
you cultivate that thing and you, okay, let me put a little attention over here because apparently what you don't like on me, somebody else is meant to see it on me, right? And
Trust.
it and it's going to get me to another door that can open another opportunity in a room that you can't get me in. So, sis, I love you and thank you. I appreciate you for not liking something in me because it made me pay attention to it and it made me water that thing because you planted the seed and now I'm finna watch me fertilize it. I'm gonna till the ground. I'm gonna till the ground. I'm gonna water it. I'm gonna put a little sunshine on that thing because sunshine and water it'll make the seed grow. And then when it begin to sprout, you're gonna be sitting over there looking at me crazy because of one thing that you told me that you didn't like. You're watching me use it to grow and get me to the next level.
Mm.
And don't get upset with the people that are giving you hate. Embrace them too, because
Embrace
you
them
don't
too.
know what got them to the position to what made them so hateful. And say,
Mm-hmm.
sis, it is not my fault, but I can help you if you allow me to.
Mm-hmm.
I can help you get from out of this traumatic thinking. I can
Mm-hmm.
get you from out of this, this mediocre mindset. Let me help you get over here to where I am.
Yes.
Because I don't want to see it. I don't want to win by myself. But if I will if you don't want to move.
Right. We'll leave you right over there where you are. Sparkle, I said, hey, Sparkle. She said, yes, you are talking about me. And Sparkle, I'm gonna use you for a second. One thing about Sparkle, that
Baby,
energy is crazy. You hear me? When she's doing her Sparkle for You jewelry and she come on do her shows, the energy that she has
it's
makes you want to go out
amazing.
here and get you some jewelry and be like, boom, shakalaka. But imagine how many people probably thought you do so much, you're doing too much, girl. Oh my God, it's not that serious. But the very thing that she has about her, that big personality, that desire to be, wanting to see people just shine and sparkle and do all those things is where it's now she's tapped into it. So now she's got her boutique. Now she's got her Sparkle for You to go out and show this jewelry that's absolutely amazing that makes you stand out. And now she's speaking at conferences in different places, showing people how to take what's inside of you to be great and amazing. See, somebody probably said something negative, and again, what they said, she's able to turn it around and use it to blow up her empire. That's how don't ever discount people. I don't care what part of your life they're in, whether it's something good, whether it's something bad. If you pay attention, if you ask God to give it to you, he'll show you how to use, because the old folks say, chew the meat and spit out the bones. You ain't got to take everything everybody says, but you need to be discerning to know what is it that you need to use to help you get to where you need to go. Because
Absolutely.
the good book says it all works together for our good.
Ain't that was that Roman 8:28?
8:28. You know it.
That's it. That's
That's
called according to his
his
purpose.
purpose. Boom.
So when you're in alignment with his will, it ain't a devil in hell, a negative naysayer, none of that can stop me from getting to what he has written for me.
Come on, Jazz.
Because I am resting in his arms and
Mm,
it's going to go according to his time. I
mm-hmm.
have to be in alignment with his will. not your will. As they pray, Lord, let your will be done. Not my will, but your will.
Exactly.
Right? Because when you learn, and again, I think the way I see it is, my dad always quotes, and his company is called You Ain't Average. Y'all know my daddy. My daddy named Larry, and Larry Mills. He's the belief management coach, right?
Come
And
on, belief management coach.
baby, when I tell you bloodline deep over here, okay? So he kind of brought it to my attention, Isaiah 61. And I always say, God will give you beauty for your ashes,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
The situation that you feel is destitute, the situation that you think, you know, it is all hope is lost, or you can't get out of this, and this is where life is going to take you, and this is all that you're meant to have. I am here to let you know as a witness, okay? And let me be your test. Let me give my little testify. All right.
come on.
You are looking at a female. Again, I told you in the beginning of the show, from DeSoto, Georgia, population of 150 people. Okay. And if you think I'm lying, Google it, right? You see I'm not. DESOTO, Georgia, right? Amen.
Look it up.
Listen, look it up. You are looking at the woman that went through as a little girl, dealing with rape, molestation, watching my mom be physically beat for over 15 years, almost every single day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
And going through that, and I wasn't just molested and raped by one man, two men, three men. It was eight. Okay.
mm,
Between the ages of 5 and 15 years old, pregnant at 17, had my daughter still a senior in high school, left my mama house because I thought I was grown. Got out my mama house, graduated high school, still lost, but I'm still a parent. Couldn't figure out a way, to do anything right. So I let my grandmother raise my daughter. I hated the decision that I made because I wasn't there as fully as I wanted to. My daughter still knows, she knew who I was. She knew I was her mom, but I didn't have the relationship that I wanted with my daughter. I didn't have the relationship that I wanted as a mom, with my grandmother. I didn't have what I wanted. So I put myself in a position to where I felt like that was all that I was going to have.
mm-hmm,
God said otherwise, right?
mm-hmm.
Got married, had another son, right? Moved to Atlanta. Now you in the big city and you think you're doing good. You go from a population of 150, now you up there to a smooth 6 million, and you think you doing it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You think you just somewhere. Work with me, right? So transition out of that, got divorced, that didn't work. Single mom, two kids, daughter still with grandmama. Now I have my son. Okay, now it's time for me to start to right the wrongs that I made. Now it's time for me to be the mother that I always wanted to be. Now I had to start correcting the mistakes. Now I have to show up for my child, both of them. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't miss an event. I didn't miss a recital, a chorus, didn't miss none of it. I made it my business to make sure that my children knew that they can come to me, that I was going to be in their corner, that they needed me. I was an autopilot mom, but I was still lost as the individual because
Mm-hmm.
I was so focused on being a better mom that I didn't know who Jasmine was as myself. So
Right.
here I am telling my kids, you can do anything you put your mind to, but I don't have a mind to think about what I want.
Mm.
I go to work and I come home. I pay bills. I come home. Go grocery shopping. I come home. Lost my job. Was homeless for a while. And I had to get up out of that rut. I couldn't stay there because I was not gonna let a day go by to where my children had to suffer the way that I did. So I worked. And fast forward to now, I am married again. Because I told you I got divorced, got
Mm-hmm.
remarried. Now I got little Bishop. And if you know and you seen my page, you seen that little rambunctious 2-year-old. When I tell you I don't know if he gonna be a pastor, a bishop, a prophet, but some God got something for that little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I had the ability in 20, let's see, what year was it? 2015. God sat me down and he said, look, I don't know what you got going on with your life, but I've been sitting here and I've been looking at you like this. When are you going to wake up and see that I'm standing right here? You've been trying to do it all on your own for over 30 years and it's not working. It's not, you've been homeless, you done had your car repossessed, you done lost 3 jobs in the last 3 years. When are you gonna wake up? Because you're trying to do it on your own.
Mm.
You're not in my wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your wheel. How that working out for you? How
Mm.
that going? How is that going?
Right.
Get in me so I can show you you. Because you will never know your fullest potential if you're not in alignment with who God created you to be.
Oh, come
But in
on.
order to be in alignment with who God created you to be, you got to first go to God, right?
Right.
To get in alignment, you have to go there first. Okay.
Right.
So I had to humble myself and say, okay, look, I throw in the towel. I'm waving my little white flag. I give up, Lord Jesus. I surrender. Okay. I had to surrender to who I was, to who
Mm-hmm.
I wanted me to be. Because
Mm-hmm.
I still felt like I didn't deserve anything, right? I
Right.
still felt like that I was just that country girl in a population of 150 that only meant to get the regular mundane, go to work and come home type of life.
Right.
I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was created to be. I didn't even like myself. I didn't
Mm.
even enjoy myself. And it became therapeutic for me to write about it. And I'm finna put a plug out here. That's how I wrote the book, How Did I Get Here? The Untold Journey to Finding Myself. Because
Mm-hmm.
I never uttered a mumbling word to anybody about me. I
Mm.
always talked about situations that I was in. I always talked about situations as being a mom, but I never talked about me. And my breakthrough moment was when I wrote my book. I started
Mm-hmm.
it and I quit because I had to relive everything. God made me go back through every single thing that I had went through, things that I had swept up under the rug, stuff that I had forgot about, stuff that I didn't want to remember, but I still thought about, stuff that I didn't
Right.
want to tell anybody because I felt like if I exposed or said anything, it would hurt my mother. It
Mm.
would hurt my family. And I didn't want to be the one to bring down the house. But I
Yeah.
had to because my foundation was already shattered, Angela. It
Mm-hmm.
was my life was built on shaky grounds. And in
Right.
order for me to get on God's foundation, I had to bring down the house. And my house was brought down with my book. My mama
Mm.
called me. She read my book in one day. And she called me and she said, I never knew you were in the same house as me dealing with what you went through.
Mm.
And my forgiving moment was in that conversation because I was able to see my mom for who she was at that time. I
Right.
had hatred in my heart, I
Mm.
had forgiveness in my heart. I had disloyalty in my heart. I felt betrayed. I felt like I was the victim. I felt like everybody owes me an apology because I was the one that went through. I was the one that had to do this. And it was I,
Mm.
I.
Wow.
And as they always say, ain't no I in team, baby.
It's
Ain't
not.
no I in team. So
Mm.
I had to understand, I had to see everyone for where they were at that time because everybody does things not understanding where they are in life in that moment. So
True.
I had to accept my mom and forgive her because she only gave me what she was capable of giving me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to forgive others because they were only capable of giving me what they were given. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people repeat what you give them, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what they repeat ain't always peaches and cream. It
It's
ain't always good. And so you regurgitate the negativity that someone gives you and you think that's supposed to be your life. And that's what I thought until 2015 when I had to sit down and get to know me as the new woman at 30 years old,
mm-hmm.
2015, when I tell you there has been so much trial, error, heartbreak, headache, high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of thing that has been tossed my way that the enemy tries to knock me off my game. And he tries it. I don't break. I may bend all the way over, to
Yes.
make it look like I'm finna snap in half. To
Mm-hmm.
where now sometimes I have to, okay, let me take a step back. Let me take a little moment. Let me regather myself because you over here tripping.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's time for me to get somewhere and sit down for just a minute. God, you handle that because I ain't got time because I fail. When I learn how to be able to decipher when to play and when to sit down,
It's that lesson right there. What Kenny Rogers said, know when to hold them
and
and know
know
when
when
to
to
fold 'em.
fold, that's it right there. When you know how to play your hand and when to say, I fold, that lets you know yourself, your strengths, that you can't allow someone else to manipulate you with their words, with their actions, because people will try to guilt trip you. Well,
Yeah.
if you call yourself my sis or if you call yourself my bro, then you'll do this, blah blah blah. If
Mm-hmm.
you call yourself my sister or my brother, then you will take into consideration of what I'm going through and how I feel, and you will understand it.
Boom. That part.
But then you have to also understand when the person is not understanding of your situation, that just may mean whatever you're transitioning to, that person can't go.
That right there, somebody I hope caught it. Hope you catch it. Because everybody's not meant to go with you on your next journey. There's
Mhm.
levels to things. And I mean, and you know that I think I spoke about it the other day, when we talked about Moses and
Mhm.
leading the people, to the promised land, but yet he couldn't cross over. He was
Right.
able to part the Red Sea. He was able to do all these things, all these signs and wonders. But when it came time for him to get the fruits of the labor, he couldn't do it
Right.
because of his disobedience.
Yep.
But see, you got to understand that's a prime lesson that just because somebody's there, you got to know again to be discerning enough to recognize maybe you can't go with me where I'm going next. And it don't mean I'm mad. It don't mean that I'm tripping. It don't mean that, I dislike you. I just recognize that where I'm going,
You
you
can't
can't
go.
go along
Right.
because you ain't gonna know how to act. Or you're gonna cause me to mess up my
Right.
blessing.
Right. Exactly. And that doesn't mean that you can't socialize, you can't be friends, you
Mm-hmm.
can't, stay in that relationship, you can't stay, it doesn't mean you can't stay in that marriage. It just means my next chapter is a chapter that you're not going to understand. But I have to know me enough and be strong enough to accept that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I have to know that everybody is not going to understand my life. Everybody is not going to understand my journey. But it's about me having a relationship with God to know that even in their misunderstanding, that I'm still in your alignment, that I'm still in your will, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
still walking according to what you have me to do. And I have to be okay sometimes being alone, not lonely, but sometimes you're going to walk alone.
Mm-hmm.
People always say, oh, it's lonely at the top. No, it ain't. It's a bunch of people up there. It's greatness at the top. But sometimes the journey is lonely. Sometimes you got to walk alone by yourself. And that's how God wants you to, because it keeps you away from distractions. It keeps
Ooh.
you open to where you can hear Him. It
Mm-hmm.
keeps you open to say, okay, well, now I have you on this journey by yourself. You think you're going the long way, but I want you to detour to the right. And when you go to the right, around that corner, you're going to meet one person that's going to catapult you exactly to where I want you to be. And that one person that you're going to meet can be that person that causes you to be a millionaire, to be a thousandaire, to be a six-figure earner, to have your own home, to be able to purchase your own home, to be able to buy a car that can get you from point A to point B and not break down on a mill of 75 every single day. You know what I mean? It's not
Yes.
all about the money. It's all about the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's next level is not the same.
Correct.
Everyone's next level is not all about the monetary thing. So stop thinking next level is always about money,
Right.
because
And you
money
said
is
something right there.
good.
Thank
Right.
you. You
Money
said
is
something right
good,
there. Yes.
but don't let it be the control of everything. Don't let it control your mindset, because then it becomes money is the root of all evil, right? No, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yes.
Miss Diana, I wrote a
I
book
see
in darkness, and God gave me a whole new level. See, within a
in a
year,
year. Mm-hmm.
the time and that was your detour, because you were obedient when he told you to be. You were this. You can't be distracted when you're when you're walking on your journey. You can't allow the naysayers to get into your ear and pull you away from what he's telling you to do. You have to humble yourself and get in a corner and say, I'm gonna sit right here until you tell me to move. And you have to be okay with sitting. Money is a benefit that comes after the word.
Come on,
Boom,
Sparkle. You
boom.
know that right there, because people think that money is the pinnacle.
Mm,
There's so many people who have money that are committing suicide. That don't even have good relationships with their family. And
man.
yes, Diana said, God gave me the movement. You have to
Yeah.
still to hear and
Hmm.
know what
Right.
God has for you. And listen, we didn't hit the hour mark, Jazz. Listen, I told y'all to tap into Jazz because the life tips that she gives, the purpose that she tells you when it's about learning to fly, which is first love you,
Yes.
gracefully embracing yourself, all those things that she's coming up with, that she has put out there, that God has given her, is to help us to see things in a manner that allows you to understand you are his creation first and foremost. And if you honor who he's created, which is you, and you stay connected, there's not anything that you cannot accomplish in this lifetime.
Hmm.
But you got to make sure that you understand the enemy when he shows up, because he gonna come. It's already said he's coming to steal, to kill, and destroy. You got to be able to recognize those killers, those destroyers, those people that it may just be, girl, I'm gonna call you again. What you doing? And we're talking, and it's 3 hours later, and you just like, oh, girl, honey, now I done messed up because you done missed out on doing some things. Now you behind. Now you're out of alignment. When you got to make sure that you bring it back in line. You bring
Hmm.
it back into what God says and have recognition. Man,
Amen.
I have to do a part two. I know, because that was good.
Thank
That was
you.
good
I
stuff.
look forward to you. Let me know when, and I'm here.
Listen, I want people to know how they can get in contact with you. I know you got shows on Wednesday, how they can follow you there. Anything else you got that's coming up, let them know so that they can tap in, because you're somebody that they need to tap into.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I host the Fly Show every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Not 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook. If you also want to be a guest, if you have a book, if you have a program, just want to tell your story, I am also open to I do interviews. It's not just me. If you want to be on the show, definitely reach out to me. My email is jasminemilhouse@gmail.com, and put in the subject line the Fly Show inquiry, okay? And we will go from there, hold a meeting, and we will set up and schedule a date for you to be on the show. I am also in the process of planning my second Gracefully Embracing Me Women's Empowerment Brunch.
Number
That will be
two.
happening, yes, number two, within the next couple of months. So make sure you stick around and follow me here on social media, Jasmine D Milhouse, on all platforms. If you're on Instagram, if you see Life Tips by Jazz, it's either Life Tips by Jazz or Jasmine D Milhouse, either or, and you can find me there. My website is jasminemilhouse.com. If you are interested in being a client for the Purpose of Fly program, where I help you tackle your obstacles and oppositions to reconcile your self love, make sure you go to my website and book your strategy session for Purpose to Fly, and we will sit down, hold a conversation, and see if you will be a fit for the program, if I can help you, and you will benefit from what I offer. And those are the ways that you can follow me.
Amen to all of that. Listen, I'm telling y'all, please connect with Jazz. Um, you're not going to be disappointed. What she gave you today, honey, to be honest, really was just, just a little sprinkling of what's underneath the surface. So if you thought this was good, because Diana said this was good. If you think this was good, Diana, I'm telling you, follow Jasmine, because everything that she touches is extraordinary, and she drops some good knowledge. And she's already shared a little bit about her journey and what she's been through. And you know that when you go through a lot of trauma, it brings a certain level of strength, like diamonds. You have to go through the fire in order to go from a coal to a beautiful diamond. It has to be pressure, it has to be things that happen to get you from A to B. And so definitely connect with her. Make sure you're looking out for the next Gracefully Embracing Me brunch, and tune in on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. to catch the Fly Show. Because, honey, that right there, in and of itself, the Fly Show sounds like it's fly, right? Yes, it does. So listen, this is Woman Empowered Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in. Next week, same time, 12:30 p.m. Bring you people who are going to talk about just empowering you, giving you information that's going to help you with the levels. Because like Jazz says, there's levels to this thing, and we want to make sure that you're equipped, and that empowered mindset will position you to be in alignment with what God has for you. So until then, have a blessed and winning Wednesday. Jazz, thank you. I love you.
Love you.
All right.